veins everywhere. I hope the editor shows this friggin' video because I don't see veins everywhere. What is he even talking about? I thought the doctor was doing a good job. Now he's blowing it. You blew it, Dr. Mike Diamonds. Come on, do an actual assessment of body fat. Don't just quote what they said in their DEXA scan. Look at the friggin' video or picture and say what percent they are. Coach Greg, and today I am going to be reviewing a body fat analysis from a real doctor. Not me, I'm not a doctor. What the heck would I know? Well, I have actually laser vision in terms of assessing people's body fat. So I am going to see if Dr. Mike Diamonds knows what he's talking about. He actually did this on me. I'm one of the guys. And Helmut Strebl, everyone wants to know about him. Jeff Nippard, The Rock, David Lade, MERIJN, himself, Mike Diamonds, Cristiano Ronaldo, Stephanie Buttermore, all kinds of people, lots of people. So we're gonna go through the video. I don't know what it is. I haven't watched it. I don't know yet. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna watch the video. A lot of people have requested, say, hey, what do you think about this video, body fat on you? We're gonna see. Is he right? Is he wrong? Does he know what he's talking about? I'm gonna agree, disagree, and you can learn and see if this doctor matches up to this not a doctor. So, before I get into that, I'm not a doctor. I just said I'm not. I'm actually somebody with laser surgery vision who can tell you what percent body fat you have. Better than DEXA scan, bod pod, skin fold caliper, hydrostatic weight. I don't care what method. This method is the golden standard of body fat assessment. So let's get into it. I'm going to play the video and see what he says.
Now, in terms of research, a male individual falls between the 4 to 6% body fat as being the lowest range they can achieve. And this considered is the essential phase. Anything lower than that and you're putting your body and your life at risk.
So he's close. He started off, I watched his first little intro. He's talking about essential fat and he throws up a study. Ooh, a study. So that means he's correct, right? So it flashes it up real quick, but I had to pause it and actually read it. So what he's saying is essential fat is 4 to 6%. It's not. It's 3%. Why? Well, he had a study. Well, guess what? The study said 4 to 6% is essential for healthy men to be healthy, not to have life, not to be the lowest humanly possible body fat percent you can attain. 4 to 6% is required as in to be a healthy human being that functions normally. That's a lot different than the lowest body fat you can go before death. So he says 4 to 6%, it's 3. So he's close, but it's less than that, okay? So that's just, I just want to throw out that just because somebody throws up a study real quickly, I'm not gonna name names, there's lots that do that. It doesn't mean that it's the truth. Even though he's a doctor, doesn't mean it's the truth. He's close. Doctors don't really know that much about body fat. Depends how much they study it.
Took me hours upon hours researching, looking at different various individuals to be able to compile this list of 14 people, starting from the most shredded to those in terms of high body fat percentages.
So I'm gonna basically comment on probably most of these, okay? So just so you know, the leanest percent body fat is below 4%, it's 3, okay? You could get down to 3. Now, to be healthy, is 3 healthy? No, who's 3? The leanest bodybuilders in the world, like Andreas Munzer, the most shredded that I can think of IFBB pro bodybuilder that I've ever seen, that's mind-blowing, and he died. But he didn't die of body fat, he died of taking diuretics. It's not, people think, oh, he was so ripped, he took diuretics, very dangerous drugs that dry out your body, dehydrate, suck all the water out. Bodybuilders, like me, do this so that we can appear on stage even more shredded than we actually are. So if you take 2 people, both at say 5%, one takes a diuretic, the other doesn't, the one that took a diuretic is gonna look leaner because they have less water, it's not covering the muscle. You have like the saran wrap look as opposed to 3 papers of saran wrap. The less saran wrap, the better for bodybuilding. That's just how it works. So let's see who he says is the leanest dude.
What I consider a true 4% body fat, Helmut Strebl.
Helmut Strebl. I'm saying it right now because there's no possible way I'm going to pronounce that name correctly if I wait 10 seconds after saying it. Helmut Strebl. Boom. The leanest guy in the world, he just said. And I've had 100 requests or more on doing a video just on this guy, so I'm sure you're gonna wanna know what's my opinion on body fat. Let's see what he says his body fat is.
This is what I would consider a true 4% body fat.
I'm gonna put him at 3 to 4%, below 4 for sure. He's so shredded, his back was shredded, everything was freaking shredded. Now, he makes a good point. 10 to 15% body fat, you have to have like ripped abs. Basically, if you don't have like a six pack, you're probably over 15%. So all these guys that say, oh, look, I have my shredded abs, look. And they say, oh, I'm probably 5, 6, 7, 8%. No, you need shredded abs just to be 10 to 15%. So far I'm agreeing with this dude on this because he's making sense, because so many people underestimate how much body fat they have. Most people, I say, always add 5%, whatever you think you are, you're 5% higher, and I'm pretty much bang on correct all the time when I do this. As you know, I'm correct 98 to 99% of the time on everything in life. So if you want to bet against me, you're an idiot. Think a bit. You're only going to be right 1 to 2% of the time. This stupid odds.
4% body fat. The way the sun reflects upon his skin tissue is extremely grainy. You can see that this individual is very lean.
See, this is the problem. You need to see proper video footage, and honestly, in person is the way to do it. I can only do so much laser vision on a screen, and if it's in bad lighting or it's after they ate supper, like, so much is going to be impacted. Or if they took diuretics, they're going to look leaner. And so, I mean, I'm watching this hermit shredded, whatever the guy's name is. His upper body is mind-blowing shredded, but he shows him doing leg extensions. And his legs don't even look as lean as mine. So, I don't know. I'm assuming his legs are mind-blowing shredded, but I haven't literally seen his legs. So, my 3 to 4% analysis is based on his upper body. And as this man just said, you have to consider the legs, because a lot of guys can have a six-pack and have fat legs, okay? So, all the time, for example, my abs right now don't look redonkulously shredded. But I have striated glutes, and my hamstrings are peeled, and my calves have striations in them all over. So if you just look at my abs, you might be like, oh man, you're probably like 10%. But I'm actually leaner because I have less fat in the lower part of my body. It's important to know. Let me know in the comments below. Hermit is 3%, 4%, or do you agree with us? I have him at 3 to 4%. He has him at 4%. So we're pretty much bang on. If you're within a percent, we're arguing about 1%. That's just nothing. If somebody says you're 6% and you're really 5, or you're 10% and you're really 11, that's accurate. That's like me guessing your weight and I'm saying, oh, I think you're probably 205. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm 207, moron. If you're within 2 pounds guessing someone's weight, it's accurate. So, anyway. Back to this. Let's see who's number 2.
Athlete, Greg Doucette.
Hey, it's Greg Doucette, number 2.
Within the IFBB,
That's me.
It is to your advantage to be able to be in the lowest body fat percentage range you are. When you look at Greg, starting from the top to bottom. Midsection, no body fat. If you're looking at his legs, striations upon striations within his legs and his quads, his hamstrings. And when you look at someone's calves and their striations, it is also a great indication that this individual is very, very low body fat.
And he's showing video backstage. It's not the best footage of me that you could find. Like, if you see me in person when I'm literally at just under 5%, which is based on my eye laser vision, it's actually quite impressive. I'm tooting my own horn. It looks pretty freaking ripped. When you're that lean and you look at your hamstring, you're like, holy crap, I'm lean. You literally feel it, okay? So looking at a video on a screen, it depends what picture you show. You might vary by, 1 or 2% easily based on if you're in good lighting or bad lighting. He's showing a lot of clips and stuff, and some of it is me in the off season. I mean, the leg pressing thing, and then you watch me doing the calf raise, that's over 8% body fat by my laser eye vision. Blah, 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 blah. Some of the video, I'm at under 5%, and some at 8%. So his assessment of my body fat is gonna be, is he considering when I was stripped or now? Because right now I'm 8.5% body fat. So the analysis he's gonna give is not gonna be 100% accurate because he's looking at various photos. You need to have one day and say, what percent are you here?
I don't recommend being in this phase between a 5 to 6% body fat longer than 1 to 2 days.
So as I said, it's within 1%. I had me at 4.9%. Literally. So he has me at 5 to 6. So I'm sure he's saying 5 to 6 because in some of the pictures I'm 8%. So it's kind of skewing. You're like, well, he's not that ripped. Look here. Some of the videos are me 10 weeks after the show. And he says, look, for your health, it's not good to stay at 5 to 6% body fat. So right after the contest, you need to gain some weight back. 100% agree. I don't function well at 5% body fat. It's essential just to live to have some body fat. So 3% just to live. But it said healthy males need 4 to 6% just to function. At 5%, I don't function in a healthy way. I don't feel good. Sex drive is lower, my energy's lower, I don't feel good. Could I maintain 5% year round? Yes. Would I do it? No! For $1 million, I would do it. For $100,000, I wouldn't do it. Okay? It gives you an idea of how much suffering is required to do that. If somebody said, you'll win the Mr. Olympia next year, all you have to do is stay under 5% body fat the entire year, I'm doing it. Yes! But if somebody's like, oh, just stay below 5% body fat, you know, just because you look really good. No! I don't want to suffer like that. So where I'm at now, I feel great. 8.5% body fat. I feel so much better than 5%. So much better. I probably feel even better at 10%, but I wouldn't look quite as good. So you have to balance. Do you want to be stripped or feel okay? And that percent body fat is different. Helmut Strebl, whatever his name is, he probably has less fat cells than me. He has less hunger hormones, and he can function at a lower percent body fat than me. It's just how it works. Some people can maintain 10% year-round, no problem. Doesn't faze them. Some people get to 10% and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to shoot myself. This is so hard. Okay, so that varies. So let's go into the third person.
Our third athlete is Alberto NUNEZ, the human Dragon Ball Z character.
It's Almundo NUNEZ, the human Dragon Ball Z character, he's saying. I don't know what that even means.
This is what you would consider a true 6.2% body fat, and this is done via DEXA scan within the medical and scientific realm to be the most accurate form of body fat reading.
And I'm good with that. I would have said he's just slightly over 6% body fat. To me, he looks like 2 more weeks of dieting and he's freaking ridiculous shredded, okay? He has veins and stuff and he looks good. And so this dude is like, to me, that's leaner than most people that compete on stage. 6.2% is for sure ripped. If you're 6%, you are ripped. Trust me, 6% is intense. Next up is MERIJN. And I called him MERIJN or something like that. And I did a video on this dude. And I like this dude because he had like the binge eating disorder and he did a show and he gained 14 pounds in like 2 weeks and it was fat and it was bad. And he's like, don't do what I do. And now he's learned from it and it's awesome. He says he's 7 to 8% body fat and I had him at 8%. He said, make sure you look at the legs because the midsection is really shredded. I agree. His back wasn't quite as lean. His legs are not quite as lean. And I have him at 8 and he has him at 7 to 8. We're just splitting hairs. That's the word. 1% difference. I say 8. He has 7. He might be 7 or 8. If you're within 1, you're doing great.
And now comparing to MERIJN, not saying that they're very similar, but Cristiano Ronaldo, in terms of body fat, you put these two individuals side to side and they look like they're almost the same person in terms of body fat distribution. Muscle mass is a complete different thing, but Ronaldo, after doing a Juventus medical exam and doing a DEXA scan, also came to 7% body fat.
He's wrong. Cristiano Ronaldo, somebody that plays soccer that's good looking, extremely good looking. This man, he said he did a DEXA scan. He came up as 7% or something. Okay, this doctor, I can say right now, halfway through the video, he's biased thinking that DEXA scans are like the most accurate thing in the world. He doesn't realize that my laser eye vision is way more accurate than DEXA. DEXA can be off by 4% plus or minus easily. He came up at 7. He's probably closer to 10. He's not 7. He is certainly not 8, and he's certainly not as lean as MERIJN. I hope I said that right. And he's saying that he looks as lean as MERIJN, maybe just not as much muscle. He is not even close. He's like, oh, look at the legs. His legs are not even close as lean. Yeah, he's got some decent abs. It's not bad. He's lean. He's definitely in good shape. And he even said he's in athletic lean zone. Just so you know, I've already categorized that. 8 to 12% body fat is what I consider very, very lean for an athlete. He's between 8 and 12. He came up at 7 on the DEXA, and he's saying he's 7%. That's too lean. If he was actually 7, it's not 8 to 12. That would be too lean, in my opinion, for being a soccer player. I have him at 9%. I do not have him at 7. I don't have him at 8. 9%, maybe higher. I had to have a better look at his legs, but certainly he's wrong on this one, for sure.
You can say that he easily falls within that 7% realm, but at this point, and this is the latest video that I could find on David Lade, he is at 9%.
I agree. He has him at 9%. I have him at between 9 and 10%, which is still pretty friggin' ripped for an athlete. It would be amazing. He doesn't do athletic stuff. I don't know what he does. He just looks pretty. He's one of these extremely good-looking Gymshark guys. Like, that's what they typically are. So yeah, let's not even argue. He's 9 or 10%.
Our next athlete is Jeff Nippard. Now, Jeff did a body fat DEXA scan. He was in competition prep, and after doing a DEXA scan, Jeff came out to about 8.4% body fat.
Is he insane? He has Jeff Nippard at 8.4%. Mind you, this is from older footage, but he's saying that him and David Lade have the same body fat distribution. He's saying he's shredded upper body and legs. He's not 8.4%. The DEXA scan is clearly wrong. He's definitely not under 10% in this picture. It's not him on stage day. It's him dieting and prepping. I'm looking at the footage. He's taking a pizza out of the oven. He's not in his full shred mode, so I don't know where he's judging 8.4. This is what I think. He's biased towards what the DEXA scan said. Jeff Nippard posts a video, and he probably said, I'm 8.4% on the DEXA scan. So then this Dr. Mike Diamond says, hey, Jeff Nippard is 8.4%. He doesn't know that. He's just quoting what Jeff said. And he's not 8.4%. Not even close. You really think that's 8.4%? And you think MERIJN is 7 or 8%? MERIJN was way leaner than this guy. Or that other guy that was 6.1 that I just said that I don't remember his name. You think he's only 2% leaner than that? You think I was only 3% leaner than... He said I was 5 to 6%, so that means I'm 3% leaner than Jeff here? No! He has more than 3% to lose to get to be one of the leanest IFBB pros in the show. Way more, 3% of his weight, 5 pounds. You think if he lost 5 pounds, he would be leaner than me? No. So it's easy to kind of judge. This is how you judge body fat. Think, how many pounds of fat would you need to lose to be really, really ripped? So if you're 200 pounds and you're like, yeah, I need to lose 20 pounds to get ripped. Well, that's 10% of your weight. So if you say you're 10% body fat and you need 20 pounds to get ripped, that's 0%. You can't be 0% body fat.
Upper body shredded, veins everywhere. If you can see veins running up your abs, it's a good indication that the subcutaneous fat within your midsection is very low.
Veins everywhere. I hope the editor shows this friggin' video because I don't see veins everywhere. What is he even talking about? I thought the doctor was doing a good job. Now he's blowing it. You blew it, Dr. Mike Diamonds. Come on, do an actual assessment of body fat. Don't just quote what they said in their DEXA scan. Look at the friggin' video or picture and say what percent they are. Editor, make sure you show the video that this guy is doing because he's commenting on his body fat and saying his abs are shredded and he doesn't even have barely any abs. Veins, just show the video and let the viewer decide, did this guy do a good... No wonder he only has 8,589 views as I watch this in a day. Because he did a shit job on it. Show Jeff at his most shredded and then say it's 8.4%. Find his stage shots and say this is 8.4% on stage. Don't show him in the gym at 14% and say it's 8%. It just confuses the viewer. They don't know what to think anymore. They're like, well, the viewers will be like, I'm as lean as Jeff and I'm 8.4%. This is just stupid. Right, babe? Right. She just came in. She's just going to agree because she knows I'm right.
The Rock is vascular. The Rock doesn't have the best muscle insertions in terms of his abs, but this is what you would consider someone between the 11 and 12% realm.
And I'll say that the leanest The Rock has ever been in his life for one day is maybe 11 to 12%. He's usually 15% or more. He even says he never shows his legs, and men usually tend to store more fat in their legs and they don't show it. Yeah, so use your brain there, Mr. Mike Diamonds. And if The Rock never shows his legs, and he's 11 to 12% based on his upper body, and you're saying he probably has a lot of fat in his legs, then say, hey, The Rock's probably 15%, and look at him. Because other people are going to look at The Rock and say, well, I have abs like The Rock, I'm probably 11%. Meanwhile, they're not. So stop confusing people.
And as you can see from the pictures and videos, MattDoesFitness is holding fat within his legs, which is why he moves from easily that 9, 10, 8% within his upper body to a 14.1% within the DEXA scan, because a lot of his body fat distribution is in the lower part of his body, in his glutes and his legs, which takes him to 14.1% body fat.
So he's a stupid moron. This guy doesn't know anything about what he's talking about. No, Mike Diamond, you blew it, completely blew it. So he shows MattDoesFitness, and he's showing him here shredded. And he's got 14.1% on the DEXA scan, and he has him as a higher percent body fat than The Rock. He's leaner than The Rock in the upper body, and his legs are friggin' pretty damn lean. I'm looking at the video at 8 minutes and 43. His leg separation, he's almost, I would argue he's as lean as friggin' Jeff Nippard, who said he was 8.4%. This is leaner than 14%, guys. It's probably closer to 10 to 11%. He's actually quite ripped. I see veins. He has a bit of quads, a little bit of fat more in the quads and the upper body. His upper body is pretty freaking shredded. He's lean here. And I mean, going by different videos and stuff, I don't ever see him that heavy. I don't ever see him holding a lot of body fat. So obviously, depending on the video you show, but certainly leaner than The Rock. So you can't say The Rock is here, leaner, and then it's MattDoesFitness.
A lot of people in the comments always said, Mike, you're definitely under 10%. However, I got a total body fat reading of 14.3% body fat.
There's no way he's over 12% body fat here. He's not giving himself credit. He's just relying on a DEXA scan because he doesn't know better. He just goes by what the science says. So he's for sure leaner than The Rock. I don't understand his mentality here. He's ranking everyone inappropriately. The Rock is for sure not as lean as him. The Rock's upper body isn't even as lean as him. Just look at his freaking pictures. Six-pack abs, ripped. A show guy on stage in board shorts competing, 14%. No, that's horrible. That's out of shape. He's way leaner than 14%. He's got to give himself credit, but he needs to understand the DEXA is not exact.
Now, the first individual that I have used is Stephanie Buttermore. She did a DEXA scan, and her DEXA scan reading came out to about 14.9%. And this is accurate.
Well, obviously, this is pre-all-in, okay? This is not her current status. She is not currently 14.9%. She is currently obese. She's above 33% body fat.
When a woman is considered fit, they fall within the 21 to 24%. A normal body fat range for a woman is between 25 and 31%, and someone considered obese and overweight is 32% and above.
At this point, 14.9%, and he says, I agree with that body fat percent. Of course he did. It was on a DEXA scan. He doesn't know how to argue it. But I also, with my laser eye vision, am saying it's probably around 15%. She is shredded in the abs. She's lean enough to compete in a competition in women's bikini at this point and do well. However, I mean, you have to have everything else. But her body fat, percent-wise, she's definitely where she needs to be. As a competitor, it's too lean for healthy athletes. Like, it's not really a good zone, which is probably why she ended up going all in. She was too lean for too long, and it messes you up mentally. It's too hard on you.
Is she able to step on stage at this body fat? I don't think her placing would be as good. She'd need to lose a bit more fat percentage, but I think 14.9% is very accurate.
So he's an idiot. He just said, could she step on stage in this point? No, she'd need to lose more fat. Has he seen women's bikini? I don't know, maybe he's referring to if she was a women's bodybuilder, but obviously she's not competing in women's bodybuilding. Being a natural female with 117 pounds of weight, she's not. She's lean enough to do women's bikini. 15% is lean.
MegSquats also did a DEXA scan and came out to 19.8% body fat.
It's higher than 19.8. Whatever. I don't want to get into too much details. It was just a quick little snippet. Then it had NIKKI Black, 25.2%. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I would say. It looks about the same as this MegSquat. I think MegSquat is higher than 19.8%. The Meg Black during her bulk, whatever, 25%. I feel pretty accurate. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to end it here. Subscribe, bell button. Write comments on his wall. Call him an idiot and a moron. Tell him that Jeff Nippard is not 8.4%. Come on. and tell him that he's leaner than he thinks, and tell him The Rock is not 11%. Tell him MattDoesFitness is leaner than The Rock. He's leaner than the... Whatever. Tell him a bunch of stuff. Subscribe, like, bell button. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. That's my Instagram. Bloop up a video of here. I actually did top bodybuilders and fitness people's body fat. Watch that video. You'll learn a lot right there. I've done it on a lot of famous people. And watch and check out this video. It's also good if you're not into the body fats. And until next time, I am out.